There we go. Kia ora whānau, Dave Mason here from the Nice Lifestyle. Our first inaugural interview regarding change management. You guys have probably been watching my vlogs, and I've decided to take it up a level. And decided to do it by interviewing people who I believe have are in positions of responsibility and or leadership. So anyway, I want to introduce Mr. Henry Poutu, and I just want to ask him some questions and give you some insight into what Henry's been up to, how that translates to what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to deliver. So without going into too much, as you can see, I've spent a lot of money on my questionnaire, but I'm just going to ask Henry some questions, and later on I'll see if you guys want to ask him some questions. And I've got someone behind us. I'll just show you. Thanks. Hello. And he's going to monitor our Facebook Live, so if you've got any questions, by all means, ask away. So, Henry, without further ado, thank you for being the first victim. So, what gets you up in the morning?
Basically priorities, Uncle. Family, work, and health. That's what basically gets me up in the morning every day.
Okay. And who inspires you and why?
That's an easy one. Dad will always inspire me. The reason being, he was a hard-working man, and I got all my traits from him, working hard, and he inspires me every day.
So you mentioned traits. What kind of traits?
Just getting up early in the morning, going to work, coming home late, just those traits. Hard-working man, knew a lot of things, but didn't have the certificates behind him, but, jack of all trades, what they called him.
Yep.
He inspires me. Michael Jordan was another one who inspires me, just some of the things that he's done. Some of the accomplishments he's made, sacrifices he's made. Yeah, so those couple of guys inspire me. I do have others, but those are the two main ones.
So Michael Jordan and your dad, that's pretty close then?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so this is a question that I threw at people, and I just wanted to know what their why is. And what I mean by why is what pushes them to do what they do. What gets them out of bed, what gets them to, because the focus for this interview is about leadership, and it's not about, people leading organisations or businesses or anything like that. Leadership could be a team of one, or it could be a team of 6, or it could be a team of 200. It really doesn't matter. It's about leadership, and by definition, it's people who want to follow that leadership. And I know for a fact that Henry has a few people looking at him and what he does, and I just wanted to touch on that as well. So give us your quotes, Henry. Henry sent me some quotes, and he says here, if you're going to do something, son, do it well. Where did that come from?
That's from Dad.
Okay.
That's the biggest quote for me, that one. He always said to me, if I wanted to do something, go and do it well.
Yep.
And to me that was a big one, because it just means that if your heart's not in it, it's not worth doing.
Happy wife, happy life. No, I mean, I know most of men watching this, would understand that as well, but happy wife, happy life, is that a fear factor quote? And I know who that came from.
Over the years I've learned that having a happy, balanced life with your partner is a big one. It's a huge one. It can be very, very uncomfortable for a lot of people out there if you don't have a happy partner. So that's a big one, that one. Happy wife, happy life.
Mā pango mā whero kaoti te mahi. What's the whakaaro behind that? What's the meaning behind that?
Many hands make light work. I believe that when you're in a team environment and being in many team environments, that all hands on deck are needed to accomplish the same goal. So many hands make light work is basically what I based it around. Being in New Zealand Māori touch team when I was younger, we all had the same one goal, and that was part of it. Also, being the manager of the Open Men's Bayside team, you're in that team environment, and we all know that from 1 to 6 we've got to be paddling together to get that boat up and running. Also coaching, coach the under 9s, the minnows, Bayside kids, and they're one of the coaches, and that's the other. We have 2 coaches, and we get on pretty well. All hands on deck. We've got a great manager, and that's the basic. Everyone's doing a job, and the team runs well.
So I just wanted to touch on 3 things, because what I did was I asked all the interviewees for 3 accomplishments, and there was a few people who, especially the Māoris, and I mentioned before, they were a bit whakamā about their accomplishments, and they were a bit reluctant to want to be blowing their own horns. But the reason behind this is why I'm asking is because I wanted to, first of all, for you guys to see what Henry's done in the past, what Henry's doing now, and how those life skills and what he's done is translated to what he's currently doing now. So the first thing was you made the first New Zealand Māori touch team. Who did you play?
We played at the World Cup in Auckland in 2001.
Yeah.
We were in the under-20s mixed team.
How did you go?
Yeah, we went well. I think we came about, I'm not too sure now, 3rd, 4th, I think overall. New Zealand took it out. New Zealand touch team took it out.
Okay.
But yeah, learnt a lot of good team stuff there. Weekend is one, and had a great management team behind us, a great coach, and just learnt a real lot, especially coming out of school.
Well, those are the questions that I want to ask about. Taking the stage for Kapaka Nationals, who was it with?
Tudong Araru.
Okay.
Yeah, Tudong Araru was their first. For me that was a big accomplishment, because you actually got on stage with your culture and experience. That was another huge.
Who was the playoff?
Yeah, Pura Taurira. He was our tutor with Henry Poutu. She was also there, as well.
Me. And what did you get out of all that? What was, say, 2 things that you picked up from doing cuppers, going across the stage?
2 biggest things. Looking back at it now, the biggest thing I probably got was the sacrifice and the hard work that went behind going home, getting up on stage. It was the sweat, trainings, and some of you will probably relate to that. It's all that behind the scenes stuff that really kicks in now when you look back at it. Yeah,
and then the discipline.
Yeah, especially the focus, the attitudes. Focus was a big one. Sacrifice, just a lot of hard work that goes unnoticed.
So what did the likes of those calibers of Kaiara he teach? What did you get from them? Say if you were mentioning Henry, if you were mentioning Pura, what things did you take away from them as your tutors?
How to lead.
Yep.
How to lead would be one of them. And hard work. Hard work would be the other one. Relentless hard work.
So this pursuit of excellence.
Yes, it comes from hard work.
And when you talk about hard work, was it they demanded? Was it high expectations, or was it a thing you guys all agreed to, or how did it come about?
Yeah, there was a goal set in place for us, and we all agreed to the goal. And then it starts to work out. Then you get into songs and learning songs, and it was just all on from there.
Was the Tamararos going back then?
Yes, Tamararo was on back then. Yes.
So you must have qualified.
Yes, we qualified at Tamararos. Yes, to get to the nationals, which was that was one of the stepping stages, obviously, to get to nationals. And we qualified there, and yeah, it was a journey. It was a journey.
You're mentioning the third thing, and his third accomplishment was buying a first home. Why is that an accomplishment?
Ever since I was 19, I've always wanted to buy a home. These days, it's very hard to buy a home. So accomplishing that for I'm 36 now, so 17 years later, I've got to get to accomplish my goal. Big lesson I learned in that one was you got to put your foot in that water to actually get in there and just do it. Sometimes you just have to do it. Don't worry about the ramifications of what comes afterwards. Just got to dive in and have a go.
Okay. You mentioned here that through basically through all the processes, you had to look through other people's eyes.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah. Coming from team backgrounds, not everyone's on the same page, and you can't really. Sometimes you don't know where they're at, and they're hard to read. So you have to take your own personal view out of it, and you have to look through their eyes and see how, like, if you're coming across, you don't come across to everyone the same. So the message might go to one person, but might get through to the other one. So it was just about seeing, how they see the message, and if it didn't relate, well, then relating it back to them, because we're all not the same. We all think differently.
Okay, so just for the benefit of those watching, Henry's Open Men's team took out South Queensland Zone Series last year. They won by quite a fair margin, and they did it in convincing fashion. So what's happened since then? What's going on now?
At the moment, we've decided to put another goal together, which is the long distance.
So the reason why I asked is because you've lost a couple of people, and I just wanted to know what the transition process has been like between losing those paddlers and then rebuilding the team. So take us through that process.
Yeah, that was a hard one to get over. That one. That was a hard one to get over. We lost a couple of paddlers due to their priorities, and so trying to rebuild them was trying to rebuild the team was quite hard. We had to go back to we had to ask ourselves some really serious questions of like why are they leaving? How do we fix the problem? What can we do to fix the problem? And was it no one's fault, but yeah, let's sort it all, iron it all out and get back on board. Since then, we've put new goals in place for us. And it's a journey still on the rise. So yeah, that was a good question.
And the reason why I want to do that because there's and when it comes to change management, we all face adversity, and when you're dealing with something you've never dealt with before, the first thing we do is that we always look backwards. We always look at what we've done in the past to try and fix what's in front of us now. So, is there any lessons learnt either from things like kapahaka or touch or your dad that you think you brought to try and get the ship running again?
Yeah, one of them's hard work. That's a non-given. But the other one is just learning people's personalities in your groups and in your teams. That was a big one for me. Just trying to learn their what type of personalities they have. Because that sometimes it's not about being a coach or being a manager. It's just about knowing and being there. manager's a bit different from coaching. Managers have to pick up all the crap.
Sorry, Whānau, our neighbour next door has just decided to bang away on the drums, so you're going to have to bear with us as we try and get through this process. And it's getting louder and louder and louder. Can you hear it?
Background music.
Yeah, background music for the video. So I'll try and speak up. Somehow I knew this was going to happen. You spoke about changing your mindset or realigning your mindset to get other people on board. How's that working?
Yeah, it's working now, but it was hard to change on. You know, I was a very choleric person. I just like things done one way, but no, I changed. That changing was hard. The change was hard. Yeah, it's to sort of sit back and read a lot of books and sort of assess myself. Yeah, that's basically how I done it.
Okay. Okay. Whānau, obviously, you know, the music's getting louder and louder, much to my dismay, but it is what it is. We're going to try and carry on. If you've got any questions that you want to ask Henry and or myself, by all means, you know, put them up. My trusty companion that's here with us, my son Patrick, will look at the questions and he'll answer them. So if you've got any questions, by all means, ask away. The last couple of things, though, that I wanted to ask of you, Henry, is where to for you guys now? What's happening with Henry Poutu now, and where do you see yourself in 1 year, 3 years, 5 years?
Yeah, well, in 1 year I'll probably see myself, you know, moving forward and looking into the property sector in a year.
Okay. Real estate, brick and mortar.
Uncle. 5 years probably. No, that's a personal one. That one, but team wise, hope to be still doing Wakama. If not here, wherever I may be. Being on the water, just something about the water just suits me. Yeah, and might look at having another kid actually, Uncle. Next 5 years.
Oh, true. Well, you know, the best way to do that is practice makes perfect, they say. You know, a lot of hard work, you know, a lot of sacrifice. I suppose you know, what I wanted to do is get a feel for Henry, you know, for you guys to get some insight into what he's done. Obviously, he's done a fair bit, you know, in his life, and he's achieved some wonderful achievements and accomplishments. I just want to thank you, Henry, for sitting down with me today and taking the time to, you know, fill us in and tell us your story. Like most things, Whānau, everything that we do, everything that we think's worth striving for, achievements, accomplishments, all require hard work, sacrifice, and commitment. As I've said on countless occasions, you know, there's no gain without some form of pain, no gain without some form of discomfort, whether it's getting out of bed at 4 o'clock in the morning to do your training, or staying at home while all your whānau are out and getting on the plonk. It all requires commitment, it always requires some form of sacrifice. So basically, we have a question.
Sounds not too well.
Okay. So I'm going to wind this up for now, Whānau, on behalf of the Niche Lifestyle. He's Dave Mason and Mr. Henry Poutu, signing off for now. Catch up.
Thanks, guys.